Hi, everybody, and welcome to my Starshine series. My next interview is Miss Keira Huneau. Now, Keira has been a student of mine since she's 5 years old. And Keira was kind of like the silent type when we first started out because she actually wouldn't say two words to me, but she would sing and she would do all that stuff. And then finally, about maybe a couple of years ago, she decided to talk to me. And since then, what has happened is beyond words. She's really just came out of her shell so much, but she was always a performer, even on stage, because even festivals, she always said she'll wait to the stage, and she always did so well. But she was also in my productions of Bring It On and Legally Blonde. And she just currently was doing, just before the pandemic, she was leads in two musicals, which we'll talk about that in a few minutes. So everybody, welcome Keira. So Keira, we just talked about how busy you were before the pandemic, right? You said you had two musicals. Tell us about those musicals.
Yeah, so Freaky Friday, I was playing Ellie Blake, the lead role in that at Paramount. And then at school at Hammersholt, I was in The Wedding Singer, and I was playing Holly, also one of the lead roles there. So
I know, so disappointing. And I know, like we talked about this in the past, is that we're going to probably end up doing that in the future when things get back to normal. Oh,
yeah. Oh,
we lost you. There you go. I don't know why that happens. You keep disappearing on me all the time. So anyway, yeah, it's kind of disappointing, that's for sure. Like that's
yeah.
because you were getting quite used to it and you're excited because it was kept you busy, right? I know that's been really kind of busy with the plays and everything. So once it's going to be back, we're going to end up doing that again. So, so now that you're, dealing through the pandemic, I understand that we lost a very special person. Tell us about that.
So my great uncle, he passed away, I think the 27th of April. And he was in Ottawa because he had cancer and he was getting a bone marrow transplant, and he passed away there. And like with a loss through the pandemic, it's like so different because usually I would be going to visit my aunt and my grandma, but you can't do that. You just have to deal with it on your own.
Yes,
And
and
so
that's pretty hard. That's extremely hard because, like I even when I was talking to your mom, because we all know who this was. This was Dave Repay, and Dave was I could get emotional talking about it. Dave was actually very special with Applause because he did all the recordings for all my recitals, and he did like all my shows, and he also did the festival, and he was like a big cheerleader for every single person that went up on that stage and gave them such encouragement. So it's a huge loss. It was a huge loss for you and a huge loss for me. And I know that you were one of the people that I was interviewing that actually had a loss during this time, and this is not normal to lose somebody during this kind of process because you have to put everything on hold. And then when the time comes, you have to go now and deal with it again. That's hard, isn't it?
yeah, because we can't have a funeral or anything. So when this is all lifted and we can, then it's just gonna be all over again,
Yeah, and it's tough because you want to reach out to the especially to your grandma and to your aunt and help them through this process, but you can't because it's just it's just the way life is right now. And when that day comes, though, it's going to be quite intense and quite surreal, I can imagine, right? But yeah, I just wanted to make sure we mentioned Dave because I know that you were you were devastated through it, and so was I, and so was many others. And an Applause family would appreciate the acknowledgement of his loss because he was extremely important to us during that time. So thank you for sharing that with me, Keira. I really wanted to make sure we tapped on that because it is one thing to deal with the fact that we have to have this pandemic. We also have to deal with the loss too. Yeah. So it just puts things into perspective. It's okay to have those moments on camera.
Oh man.
We knew this conversation was going to be tough, so both of us just had an emotional breakdown, and we're going to be fine. So Keira, after all this is done and said, and you get back to a life of normal, and hopefully we get back to a life of normal. What things have you learned through the process?
Well, I've definitely learned to appreciate the moments you get with people and like being able to go and see your friends and being able to like get on the stage and perform, like I definitely took that for granted quite a bit, but now like I'm definitely going to appreciate that much more when we go back.
I have to say it's going to make us all better performers.
Yeah.
Because it really will. It make us all better performers. Because I can guarantee it's going to be bringing out a lot of emotion and a lot of things that we're not even aware of that we have inside of us that we've been cooped up for so long that we'll be able to express when we get that chance, right? It's going to be amazing. Um, I've just had this big discussion about being patient, and it's really hard to be patient through this, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like it's just like you have to hold. It's like holding on and see if you can get out the door. It's almost like being locked up and cooped up and having something
Yeah.
else telling you that you can go outside now. It's okay, you know.
Yeah.
So that must be tough. That must be tough because you're out in
Mm-hmm.
a camp right now too, right, with your family. It's going to be something different when we come back and to appreciate the things that we're missing. So I expect big things from you, young lady.
Yeah.
I know you're in closing a song for us, and I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. You get to share your talents. Thank you for being so open about, you know, the situations you went through. I really so appreciate it. You know, I love you, right? Because you've been my like a little girl since I started teaching you since you're 5 years old. So I thank you so much for being so open and honest about this too, and I appreciate it very much, Keira. Love you, and we look forward to your performance. Okay, sweetheart? Thank you.
Right.